Whether you love or hate Google, there is no denying that it gives us the most amazing tools that are incredibly easy to use. Most of our students, if not all, already have Google accounts and are using Google. So it really makes for an easy transition when you ask them to do things on Google Docs or do Google Slides or Google Forms or even share things in your Google Drive. So I use Google so much that I really could talk about it for an hour, but I'm going to be very brief and show you just a few examples since I use Google in perhaps some ways that you have not thought of yet. One of the most amazing things about the Google apps I will be sharing today is that they can be shared with others with a link and you can invite collaboration. And that really makes them so incredibly versatile. So I'll be talking about Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Forms, and Google Drive, though I know that there's many other amazing Google tools out there. For Google Docs, as you may know, you can create documents, just like Word, that can include tables, charts, pictures, hyperlinks, etc. And you can open them to collaboration and share them with a link. I use Google Docs for projects, for papers and essays that my students can write. I use them a lot for sign-up sheets and also for collaborative writing. So I will show you a couple examples here in a minute so you can see. With Google Slides, you can create slides that include tables, charts, pictures, hyperlinks, and you can open them to collaboration and share them with a link. You can use Google Slides for projects, for class books, which I will show you here in a minute, for presentations, just like this one that I'm doing right now, for collaborative work, and also for Bitmoji Classroom, which is the opening slide that you are using for this workshop. This is what I love about Google. The fact that you can insert hyperlinks in either text or pictures really gives it a versatility that is unmatched. You probably have encountered Google Forms already in some sort of way. You can create surveys and forms, and you can include videos, you can embed pictures, questions, and it also produces such beautiful reports with the results, and you can share both the surveys and the reports with just a simple link. You probably have seen Google Forms being used for surveys and tests, but you can also use them for self-paced lessons if you don't want to go so fancy with things like Nearpod. So I will show you how that can be done. Finally, Google Drive is an amazing tool as well. You can create folders that include documents, pictures, etc. But the beauty of it is, unlike your folders in your computer or in your thumb drive, you can share your whole folder with a link with others, and you can even open it for collaboration so other people can add contents to your folder. I used this quite a bit this semester when we had to go to remote teaching, just in case Blackboard would break down. So I will show you what I did, and maybe it's something you want to try out as well. The first step, if you have not used any of these Google apps yet, is to open a Google account, and you can do that for absolutely free. You can watch how-to videos. I have included some of those in the opening page of the workshop by the little video camera, and then experiment. And you can always delete anything you do, so there is no harm done. And share with others to see how it works for them. Or sometimes I just send it to my iPad and then I open it on my iPad to see. So it always is a good idea to try out your documents before you share with others. So let me show you some examples. You have already encountered a Google Doc here in our workshop, or a few of them in our collaboration station. I opened this document so anybody could write in it and we could just have access to everybody's ideas. I also use Google Docs for my virtual office, so my students can sign up for appointments with me, and that makes for a wonderful, wonderful tool. And also they can get links right in here to my Zoom room or my email, and it's just like a little mini web page. I just have to give them the link or put the link on my Blackboard, and they can always access it. So you can see how versatile just a simple Google Doc can be. So you probably have seen Google Slides used in many ways, including the presentations you've been watching for this workshop. But I wanted to share something else you can do with Google Slides. You can resize the Google Slides and create something like a very easy book that is collaborative. This is before I did Book Creator, and perhaps you just want to stick with Google Slides. And this was a home remedies book where people talked about home remedies in their family. So each of the students just got a slide and they got to create their own page. So you can see that even with something as simple as Google Slides, you can create a collaborative book. You also have probably seen Google surveys and participated in a few of them. But here's another use for Google surveys. You could actually create a whole lesson contained in a Google survey. Here's an example of a Thursday on one of my classes this spring. So I would start with asking the student their name, and then they had to go through the whole form. So I would tell them what was going to happen. They would tell me, yes, I'm ready, or I'm sort of ready. Then I would put a slide in there to remind them about their final project, and then they could tell me, yes, I'm doing it, no, I'm not doing it yet. I would remind them what they needed to do next, and they could tell me where they were at. I've started, I'm starting. And then here was a Flipgrid that they had to go into and complete. After that, there was a video they had to watch, and then some exercises they had to do after watching the video. So here is the interesting thing. Google surveys can actually be a wonderful tool for you to create a whole lesson. As long as they submitted it, I got everybody's names and I knew that they had completed the lesson. So this is probably the easiest way to do a self-contained lesson. Last but not least, you can use Google Drive to post all the content of your class and also have a Dropbox for your student to put in work. So this was as simple as my class looked last semester. Here was all the content that students needed to address. And then they had a section where it said, turn in your work here. And there, students could put in their work. So if Blackboard wasn't working, they could put in their compositions or even upload pictures of their handwritten work so I could check on it. So you can see how amazing Google Drive can be just even to collect students' work. This in no way explores the breadth of Google tools, but I hope that just with these little examples, you can see that there are many more things besides the basics that we can do with Google Docs, Slides, Forms, and Google Drive. I hope that you think about using Google and making your life and your students' lives a lot easier.